Hello, everyone, and happy Sunday evening. We are here with the Astral Ley Line. We're going to be joined today by a fellow comic book creator and writer. I have this open somewhere else, and it's playing at me. One second. There we go. Sorry for that. We'll be joined tonight by Christyle Inc. and his new comic, Braveheart Exile, which we'll be discussing tonight and taking a good in-depth look at and figuring out what's going on with this book, what's going on with Chris, and if we can learn anything from him. So without further ado, Chris, say hello.
Hello.
Totally unrelated music, nothing to do with what's going on whatsoever.
Not at all.
No, nothing they're talking about. The kids don't know because they've only watched the new version of it. They don't know the classic one. They'll learn. Don't worry. Welcome, everybody. Chris, you have a new comic up. I hear about it. I think I backed it even. Tell us about it. What do you want to tell us about Braveheart Exile, your new book that just hit on Kickstarter, 7 days left? What you got to tell us?
Oh, man. So it's my very first in color comic book on Kickstarter. And it's done by a whole new artist. We're just trying all new things this time around. I met a guy a long time ago, and we were supposed to go do a book last year or so, and then we kind of didn't do it. But I figured, you know what? I got some downtime. Let's kind of see it. So here is the it right now. It's in like a one-shot format. So unless people like it, I might continue the story, but so far people do like it, so we'll see. But it is a story about a girl who is framed for a political assassin, and she of course has the weapon that was used in the assassination, so she's trying to fight for
right there.
Hey, what?
So what you're saying is the glove does in fact fit in this case?
Not at all. This is like the OJ trial, but she really didn't do it. But like everything is like so against her.
Man, he's out now. I can't talk about that. I'm in danger if I talk about that.
You know that he's dead, right?
That's what he wants you to think.
I'm not here for the conspiracies of O.J. Simpson. If the casket doesn't fit, you must have quit. But she has the weapon that was used to do the assassination, but she's innocent. So hopefully we can continue the story and we can figure out how much innocence does she really have, and to go find the real killer.
All right, so it's kind of a mystery, kind of an action series here. So
yeah,
let's go ahead and dig into this a little bit, Chris. I'm gonna hit you with a couple of questions we got pre-screened here for you to see what we can talk about. Chris, give me the elevator pitch for Braveheart Exile. I want you to imagine that I'm an executive for, I don't know, let's say Funimation. And you just happen on an elevator with me, and you go, "Yo, I got this idea for a show. Hit me. What do you got?"
Shoot, I'm really bad at elevator pitches, but I can try. All right, so I have a story here about a girl that's trying to fight off false accusations of a murder that she did not commit.
All right, go with that.
While being chased by bounty hunters. I forgot that the last part does work out.
I'm going to go through it here. I see your main, who I presume is the main character here, and I believe her name is, if I'm pronouncing this wrong, please do correct me. It is Zara Vermillion?
Yep.
So what inspired the name Zara Vermillion, and was that in any way influenced by BlazBlue's Noelle Vermillion, as they have a similar body type?
You know what? You're not the first person to ask me that, which lets me know that like there's a reason why me and you know each other very well. No. So actually, she and some of the story aspects were based on another great book series that I've read over the last year that I'm just a big fan of, called Cremisi.
Oh, I think I've heard of that series.
Yes. So in Cremisi, which was it Italian for Crimson?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I wouldn't know anything about that series at all. Like, it's not anything I have any idea of what in the world Cremisi is. Oh, it doesn't work. Oh, yeah. Yes, it is Italian for Crimson.
So I read it a lot, and it has so much of that like 2000s Toonami feel to it. And I was like, I wonder if I could do something like that. And then I was like, I wonder if Isaac will get mad at me if I kind of just do it.
That's why you're here, just so I can publicly yell at you and shame you for, totally stealing an idea that I stole first.
Wait. Here's the whole connection. So Cremisi's called Cremisi for the reason of the word crimson. If you look at the color aspect of vermilion, it's just crimson.
We will get to that. I have some questions about the color choices.
That explains the color background and everything.
This is the same thing. I don't know how true the story is, but supposedly when Steve Jobs tried to say Bill Gates stole ideas from him, and Gates told him, no, what happened is we both had a neighbor called Xerox, and you broke into their house to steal the TV to find out I'd already done it. Kind of that's true. We talked a long time ago that when I was in writing school, they taught us that good writers and good artists borrow, but great ones steal. Doesn't mean quite what it sounds like it means. If you think about it, like, okay, yeah, everything's kind of very similar. I'm going to go ahead and throw a little bit of heat some ways here and say that just Kaisen, Kaiju number 8, and Chainsaw Man are the exact same story reskinned.
You're going to make somebody mad as hell saying that.
Fight. It's the same story reskinned, but that's not good. They have their own spin on it. That's okay. It's in the same way that Yu Yu Hakusho, Dragon Ball Z, and Bleach are the same story reskinned. It's okay. It's okay to reskin it and put your own spin on it. It's totally fine. The other thing they taught us in writing school was that there are no new ideas. I know that sounds depressing and mean and maybe a little hostile, but the reality of it is every possible idea has been thought of by now. But what you can do is create new combinations of existing ideas. And you have done that, and it looks very good. To keep moving forward, I'm going to notice, because I'm picky about this stuff, she has a gun. How very American. What revolver is her gun modeled after?
You know the name of it.
I have an idea of which one it is, but I mean, I cannot presume. I'm just asking questions.
So it was originally remodeled after a revolver from Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh, okay.
Which that revolver is modeled after another one.
Do you know what it's modeled after?
I forgot.
Because that looks a lot like a Chapper Rhino.
Oh, good. That's not what I thought it was.
It's a very similar design to it. I only noticed these things. Let's say hi to me real quick. Mr. DJ Fly, thank you for coming by. Always nice to see you. Hero Darky Dark, nice to see you. Thank you for coming by. And Mr. X also, thank you for coming by, guys. Always nice to see everybody here. I have to notice these things because in our own works, most of my artists are from countries that do not have access to firearms. So I have to have had extensive meetings sitting down going over firearms and how they work and how to present them properly and how they do things. Since the majority of our audiences, yours probably as well, are American, and we do like our firearms in America, so the audience is going to be very particular about how they look and they function if we try to present any semblance of realism to them whatsoever. This looks like a functioning revolver. It looks like, to me, a Chapper Rhino, similar design, but I can't quite tell if the barrel's on the top or the bottom. Looks like the barrel's on the bottom of the revolver. Do you have a panel?
It's on the bottom. So if you go down
that's the Rhino then.
Yeah, so there's a sticker of the schematic.
Oh, we got stickers
right there.
Ah, yep. Okay, yep. That would be the Rhino design. Yeah, supposedly that makes the recoil not that bad. The gun that's out there, I don't know if that's true or not. I want one. I will buy one eventually. I'll let you know when I get one. So, Chris, I have to ask then, what caliber is her revolver?
Ugh. Do I even remember my damn calibers?
Yes, we do, Mr. X. We do like our boomsticks. They come in a variety of calibers. Now, I can, if you don't know, I told you I was going to get you some technical questions here. The Chapper Rhino is normally chambered in .357 Magnum, which is the same caliber Shea uses in Cremisi. But that being said, because this is a comic book, it can be chambered in anything you decide you want it to be, even a fictional caliber should you choose.
We did not go this far into the revolver yet. We just, but we will, because there's so here's a lot about the Braveheart revolver is that it's custom made and it was made by her. Of course, that's why everybody's like, well, it's your gun. No one else has this gun. Therefore, you did this, you did the murder. So there's a lot of like detail in the story for her making this. The one thing I will say is that she is the daughter of a notorious criminal. Well, and it does not tell too much. It tells probably 0.5%, but it's like a a lot of why like how he was a criminal, uh, like falls to her, where it's all about expectations. So people assume that because her father was a notorious criminal, that she's like right behind him, like the apple doesn't
Oh, of
fall
course,
far from the
of
tree.
course.
And so that's why it was so easy to just say, oh, she did the murder. And so she has to fight something that's that it's like an unseeable enemy. When you have a pre-notion about people, you now have to fight two battles at once.
Kind of like a One Punch Man kind of situation there, where he's not only fighting the enemy, he's fighting his reputation at the same time.
Yes.
Okay, I like that. That's a really neat idea. I like how that works. I do like. I'm gonna be picky about the gun because that's something I've had to do with my own job is go into them and look how they work. So, are you pulling a Hideo Kojima when she makes the gun? Are you going to tell us where she got the parts from the gun, who owned the company that manufactured the parts, where the minerals were mined from, and all that stuff like Hideo does, or is it more of a general? Here's how she made the gun, and kind of like a almost like a Vox Machina montage.
I will do no such thing as Hideo Kojima, because that means I would have to go make 3 other comics and
Just to explain the company
just
that
to
makes
explain
the
it.
metal.
Yeah, I can't do that. I don't have time for that. But it's mainly about the whole why and what she planned to do with it originally. But as of right now, she's being framed for something that she didn't do. And in this exact book, you get to see what it looks like when people try to corner her. She is very good with it.
Now, I'm going to ask you a dumb question, but this is more for those who aren't familiar with your work. So, I do see a lot of Trigun vibes potential in this series here. If you don't know, seen a lot of that. Is that intentional, and were you inspired also by any of the other big 3 space western anime, being Cowboy Bebop, Trigun, and Outlaw Star?
I mean, it's 100% inspired. When I was reading Cremisi, I was like, I need something that just feels like the 2000s anime, and so I did like a quick rewatch. I haven't read some of the manga, and I was like, okay, you know what? I have a good idea, but let me go ahead and see if I can steal a little bit more from Cremisi real quick. All right, I stole enough. This is fine. This is good, a good mixture.
You don't have to say you stole it, because again, the Cremisi series, when we did that, it's really a big love letter to Outlaw Star, which is my favorite of the big 3 space westerns. Arguably, Bebop is the most popular, with Trigun right behind it. And it's okay. Trigun definitely is a good one to homage since it got a reboot, I think, a rebirth. I haven't seen it. All I know about the new one is apparently they downgraded Vash horribly by taking his revolver from a 44 long Colt to a 22 for some reason.
You know, I'd be fine with that if they didn't take away everything about him that made him Vash.
Really, I haven't seen it at all. It's like I had those of you out there who are like maybe older dogs like I am. When they remake things you grew up with, you kind of don't want to see, like, I want to keep that in the happy nostalgia bank. I don't want to potentially taint it with a thing that may not be as good as I remember, because nostalgia is a fantastic spice and always makes things taste better than they actually did. So let's keep that memory.
Oh well, then don't ever watch it.
I don't intend to.
You're lucky.
It's just any of the things they do now with the older series, like they made Bebop live action, and the creator said he couldn't even make it 5 minutes through the first episode. And like, yeah, I know I don't want to watch these. Like them trying to capitalize on our childhood memories. I don't. There was recently, actually, for those of you guys that don't know, and Chris is relevant for you as well. There was a huge. They had an event recently with a lot of the original OG Cartoon Network masters. Oh my goodness, Pendleton Ward, J.G. Quintel, Samurai Jack's guy. I can't remember his name all of a sudden. He's fantastic. All of those guys.
Oh, Janetti?
Yes. Tartovsky, I think, is his last name.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys. The lady who made Steven Universe, kind of the big names behind a lot of Cartoon Network's hit series. They had a meeting with them, an event with them fairly recently, like Craig McCracken, all those big guys. And they all kind of had the exact same thing to say, was like, hey, start greenlighting new ideas. Stop remaking everything. Give new creators a chance, because that's where our shows came from. You gave a new person a chance. Do that again. And I'm going to say that's definitely thing needs to be done. But luckily, people like you and me, Kickstarter is a thing that exists where we can come in and give these new ideas a chance. And as seeing as you are 3 over 3 times your current funding goal, there are definitely people willing to give your new ideas a chance, and we're here for it.
And I thank every last one of them. I know that this is not our normal format, and people still showed up. We got 7 days left to make something else shake. Did you also notice that it has that little spicy Project We Love sticker on it?
You know, I did. Yeah, right there. Right there. Yeah. I've never gotten that ever in my entire 15 years on Kickstarter. I've never once gotten it. And I'm guessing that's because they don't want to put Projects We Love attached to naked waifus, which is totally fair. I can understand that.
As you say that, there's a book that has naked waifus with that same sticker.
Hold on. I have to ask a question about that, though. Before anybody gets too mad at me, is it an LGBTQ book? Because I've noticed for them, they'll still do it even if it's a looter book. As long as
it is not.
That. Not? Oh, wow.
Nope.
Send that to me. I want to see that, though. I want to check it out. And for the record, not discriminating against LGBTQ books. We make those ourselves. You know, we're all on the same team here. We believe in taking care of everybody, letting everybody be what they want to be. It's all cool. Don't worry about it. Just enjoy. We have one criteria here. You enjoy good comics and you give the indie guy a chance. That's the only criteria we got. Do that, you're cool. So, Chris, I'm going to ask you now. You mentioned the color style. I want to go more into that. The color style of Braveheart Exile looks to be kind of a semi-muted, soft tone style. It is very pretty and eye-catching. Did you make that decision, or did your artist make that decision?
So when I found this guy, he had never made a comic before. I think he does. Well, he made like a very short, very small comic on it, like by himself. But like he's never had like one produced and published and sold anywhere. So he does like a whole bunch of pinups. And so when I saw his art style, his color style, and we had talked more, I was like, hey, so if we do this book, I need certain scenes that have like a temperature, so to speak. And he understood that right away. So when we're in certain areas, I was like, I know it'll seem funny on notes and on paper, but like I need shit to be like cold, but not like don't draw ice cubes and snow and shit, but like I need there to be like a color environment, because I want a lot of the scenes to be dramatic in like heat differences, which you will see later on in the book, because right now this is a very cold first few pages, and then when it heats up, it gradually heats up in color.
Welcome to the world of color theory.
Yes. So I just wanted to I feel like people who like read certain books get more in tune with them when their psyche is touched, and that's just kind of what I thought. So I figured that will convert very well, and it's starting to convert. Hopefully we could continue and do more of it.
Well, let's face it. Media has trained us to associate certain colors with certain things. If you're playing a video game and you see a red barrel, what does that mean?
If you shoot it, it blows up.
Exactly. If you see a yellow light source, what does that mean?
You have to go there.
Exactly. We've been trained. We have been Pavloved into thinking certain colors mean certain things, which is not the worst thing in the universe, because it does help us figure out ways to things to kind of associate with our minds, especially when we read a medium like comics or manga, where there's not an explicit feeling to it or audible for us to listen to. You can figure it out. You know who does a really good job with this color theory idea? Outlaw Star, which is, again, in the same vein as Trigun. So I'm definitely feeling those vibes here, which is not a bad thing. That's a compliment of the highest order. So you said this artist was new. Chris, tell me about your team. Who worked on this book?
It's just like how my other books are. It's literally me and the artist. I don't have a team. As far as the team on like all the Kickstarters, if you see my last few Kickstarters, you'll recognize Lemon is back again with the variant cover. JJ is the new artist. I'm the writer. Yeah.
That is, I mean, come on, that is big time Trigun energy right there, but in a good way.
Oh yeah, no, I 100% was like, I don't care how you do it. Like I just wanted to look just like this. And
what this is it's a steak cut from the same cow as Trigun, but it's got your own kind of special sauce on it, and it's delicious.
Yes, I will now be using that later. from the same cut of steak. I understand now. But it's as of right now, it's just 3 of us so far on this Kickstarter. And like I said, brand new person trying them out. This is one of my low key books. This is not a part of the ongoing lineage of my other books. This is just something that's off the side. The Jazzverse,
Chris CU,
the Chris C. No,
the Chris Cinematic Universe.
It's not a part of it. It's actually if I were to put this one in that same universe, it'll be like way off in the future. But it's just something by itself that I found that people might like. I want to see if the people that follow me want to see something brand new. And so far it's been a great reception.
Just if anybody is curious, if you want to check out this comic on here on Kickstarter, I'm gonna let you guys know that I do endorse this book, and this is not just me saying this so that Chris secretly gives me money, even though he does. But it's I can prove that I've endorsed his books before, and they're very good, and I can recommend them.
Woohoo! Dream Mesh is
sitting right here at my desk. I wasn't planned at all. Like, I have these. Let me grab these real quick. So, Chris, as with any Kickstarter, part of the attraction to them is that we are very good for the collector market, because we have for things you can't get anywhere else. What kind of exclusives can we expect on this campaign?
So there's the variant cover that is limited quantities. I think I only have 20 or 30 available for this campaign. Yeah, it's like once those are gone, that's it.
Get you one of those 20 or 30 copies, put it in your back pocket for a couple of years. When Chris gets the Chris CU hits big screens, you can bring this out and sell it for $10,000, guys. It's your retirement fund right there. It's a smart investment.
Now I got to work on Braveheart now.
Welcome, John Doe. Thank you very much for your kindness. As always, you are beyond kind. I hope you meet a Jane Doe in your near future, or another John Doe, whatever you're into, whatever makes you happy. But I hope you are happy regardless, because we love you and thank you for coming by.
I think Jose Doe is up there.
I mean, you never really know. I forget what Spanish is for deer. I'm still learning Spanish. It'd be Jose, then
Juan.
There you go.
Wando.
So so you have the variant cover, and you have some stickers on here.
Yes.
This looks a lot like the blueprints for the guns we offered on Cremisi.
I think he's starting to figure it out, guys.
Bagheera, I need you to get your tie and your legal papers. We're going to court. My lawyer's on it, but right now he's on a nip-induced hallucination trip, and he's off of it.
I gotta run another Kickstarter right after this one.
I see we have add-ons from your other series. It's always nice to have. So we can hop into Dream Match Revolution, which I've read, which was a fun book.
Yeah, that's my most favorite one, by the way.
Really? That's your favorite one?
I love Dream Match Revolution the most.
Oh, that's fantastic. I have a surprise for you later. Good Blood Money, which I've also read. That was a good one. If you guys have had a chance to, if you're here and you know who I am, you've read Cremisi. If you read Cremisi number 4, Good Blood Money has a similar vibe to that, but in its own way. And I mean that in a good way. It's definitely worth checking out. And then Jazz, we've read Jazz. I believe Jazz was your breakout series on Kickstarter.
Yes.
Jazz is definitely worth checking out. I enjoyed it. I like that cover a lot too. It was a fun series. Strongly recommend it. Anything Christyle does, I recommend, guys. And I can tell you that, as you've seen with the books that I have here, he has not failed to fulfill on a campaign. Lately, Chris, I will tell you a secret that I've been hearing mumbled a lot by backers, and that is that the number of Kickstarters who are not keeping their word is increasing. People are getting more and more upset with Kickstarter creators because they're not doing what they said they will do, which means now is a fantastic time to point out previous campaigns. Say, hey, look, I do keep my word. Here is visual proof. And one thing we always do is invite people to go look at comments from our previous campaigns because of that, because of the fact, especially now with people saying they're getting very, very angry that creators aren't delivering what they want, or they're taking gratuitous amounts of time and never updating. If you back, let's say, a comic, and the guy says, cool, the comic will be here in December, and it's 2 years later with no updates, or all of a sudden he gives you an update after 2 years, you're going to be a little angry about that. You have a right to be. Luckily, Chris here does not do that. He will get you exactly what he says he's going to get you. I see we have the cat ball sticker returns. I see.
Yeah, so I'm leaning more towards merchandise.
Is that why your camera's on? You're wearing the Christyle the T-shirt.
No, that's actually in my daughter's room. It's getting altered right now.
we're gonna pull a Spaceballs and have Braveheart Exile the T-shirt, Braveheart Exile the coffee mug, Braveheart Exile the bumper sticker. We're gonna pull that one.
I wish I could.
I mean, it worked for Mel Brooks. Mr. John Doe says, I've been getting a lot of people asking for a lot more time than promised on delivery dates. That's probably true. I can tell you guys one thing we ran into with our things, and Chris, you may have encountered this as well. Our print shop got very popular. And I learned recently they also print for Archie Comics, Rob Liefeld, and some other uber big names, which means that their production time is slower than usual. The trick to that, if you guys ever want to run a Kickstarter, is just update your backers every so often and say, hey, this is what our supplier says is going to take a little bit longer now for whatever reason. Keep you updated. You got any questions, let us know. And usually backers are fantastic groups of people. They're very understanding and kind as long as you maintain that channel of communication. They'll work with you, and they're fantastic for that. And we love Kickstarter backers because of that. Just be honest about it, and you'll be fine. Chris, next time I'm going to ask you, this is where the hard-hitting questions come from. So
shit.
Get your basketball shorts on because you but need to sink some three-pointers to win this game. Chris, I have noticed a lot of your books. Actually, I'm pretty sure every single one of your books focuses on a female-led character. What made you decide to go that route?
Oh, this is not hard at all. I'm gritting my teeth for no. Oh, it's getting.
It's going to get there. Don't worry. Don't worry. We're starting you off gentle before the pounding comes. Don't worry.
I see. The lube's getting ready. I like writing women. I've tried. It's not a like I think women are better than like men aspect. I just feel like with my with my style of writing, women are just way easier to write.
So you heard it here, guys. Christyle Inc says women are easier. Chris, do you want to maybe elaborate on that a little bit here for our everybody out there?
Before I get canceled, I just want to say it was fun doing what I done. I appreciate y'all. Maybe jump again with that damn cat.
I love that thing so much. I think I get where you're coming from, though. Giving you a little bit of a hassle for the fun of it, but I think I get where you're coming from. I also enjoy female-led series a lot. Saga for American Side of Point, which kind of bounces around, is a fantastic example of well-written female lead characters.
And then there's another aspect to it is that all three of the artists that I work with, they are women led. So in terms, and not just like them being women, but like all their art styles, they are really good at drawing women. And so
I will tell you something, Chris, that I learned. So for the longest time, every artist I've ever worked with was a woman. It wasn't intentionally done this way. I didn't know their sex, nationality, or anything. When I hired them, I just said, hey, you can do the work and you're reliable. There used to be a comic shop here in my town called Alter Ego Comics. Unfortunately, is no longer there. I would talk to the owners of that shop to get ideas on how do things sell, how do your customers behave, that kind of thing. Something they told me that was fascinating was that when female customers would come in, they would pick up books. They'd gravitate more towards books that were written both by and or drawn by other women without having any information on who that artist and creator was. They would just naturally go to it, kind of like Monstrous. They would just pick that up. Or in the case of Kermesi, when I had it in that store, surprisingly, half who bought it from the comics shop were women, even that, which was at the time the series was designed entirely for a male audience, which has been a little bit modified since then. That is something to keep in mind. I don't know how that works. I don't know if there's this subtle subconscious signal that gets fired out that we as men are just too dumb to feel, but it's definitely there.
I'll take it.
I'm probably just too dumb to notice it.
No, but like, where's I at? Oh yeah, no. So, but like, my whole thing is that when I go to you for like doing a book, I don't write the book that I want you to do until I know for sure exactly what your best strength, strength is at. And then I write around your strength because I don't want you to have to go out of your comfort zone as an artist for something. I'm like, hey, I want you to go at your like 100% best. So if you draw women all the time, you have to get a women-led book because I want you to be somewhere that you are wary of. Ash and Vice can do men just as well as women, but it's like I want you to also enjoy the fact that you're drawing something that you like to draw.
So that is a genius decision. And anybody out there, I'm going to ask you guys out there: have you ever read a comic or a manga in your life, and you get the feeling the person who's drawing it, is just doing it for the paycheck? Because as a reader,
There's a
you can
lot.
feel that. You can tell when the person drawing it just wants to get their check and get out. Especially in American comics, you can feel it big time in DC and Marvel stuff. But when they love that character, they love that comic, they love what they're working on, you can feel it resonate within you and you want to keep going. Fantastic example, the OG Gundam series. The artist who worked on the mobile suits in that loves Big Mecha, and you can feel it in every single design that shows up on screen. But like you just said, Chris, I probably wouldn't have the same guy design the girls from Monster Musume. I'd get the person who does the monster waifus for that.
Right.
There is a thing that's smart to get to pick things that are your artist's strengths and the things they enjoy. It will definitely resonate more with your audience because of that. And Chris, here's going to be the hardest question I'm going to hit you with right now. As you are working primarily with female characters, what traits do you find make a female character, quote unquote, best girl? And can you give us an example of a character not from your own work who you believe exemplifies these traits?
Give me that last part of that question one more time.
Is there a character not from your own work you feel exemplifies the traits of best girl?
Yes, and I think we had this talk prior. If you've seen Furion, that's the face that everybody makes whenever I say that. That's my pick. Yeah, it's the elf girl, the elf woman.
Freerin.
You know me. I
I'm
don't say
shit.
shit.
All kinds of things like.
No wonder they all made that face at me.
Yeah, I think it's pronounced Freerin. Freren.
Oh, I'm just gonna say, you know me.
The current winner of most of Crunchyroll's awards, actually.
Well, rightfully so. When I first watched it, I kind of was like, this is kind of boring. But
it starts off slow, man.
Slow as shit, and then it picks up like episode 8. And I think by then I was like, wait a minute, I'm starting to understand what's going on here.
You guys haven't seen Frieren, it's worth watching. It might be a little overhyped, but it's definitely worth checking out. Oh no, the page just went out.
It is the most perfectest female anime character. I love her so much. That's my favorite one. But so what makes a best girl in terms is like, so I'm not going to use my examples, but I generally feel like if you can have a female character that is not aware that she's a woman in a male-dominated area and is not trying to get ahead with that being her only crutch, that it works out. It's so simple. Like I don't mind that aspect, but if that's all you have going, then I don't care. You need to show me the exact same steps that anybody would take to better themselves, whether it be society, their own problems that are coming towards them, things of that nature. I want to see growth in spite of genetics. Now, if you can make it like a part of your story, then by all means do it. But like, don't make a Mary Sue. I can't stand Mary Sue's, and I can't stand whatever is the male version of a Mary Sue either. But just having like versatility works out just fine.
That's a good point, and that's one that we've preached a lot to younger creators or get kind of stepping into it. Like, I want a character that exemplifies this issue or this social factor or gender or what have you, and that's fantastic. You want to push those ideas and those messages and tell your story. And the thing I always relate to it is, I want you, anybody out there who's looking to do Kickstarter or write your own story, I want you, and Christopher heard me say this before. Imagine you're writing a story about a party going to slay a dragon threatening the kingdom. And one guy in the party is really into baseball, like really into baseball. So all he talks about is baseball. Everything that comes up becomes a baseball analogy. Every conversation, he immediately just ignores it and starts talking about baseball. Would you like that character?
I would not.
No. You would be looking. You would watch it for the episode where they get killed because you're tired of hearing about baseball. It has nothing to do with this dragon whatsoever. This insert issue X for baseball. Do that with any character. The best way to do it, which I think Chris has done, is he makes a good character And then from there it goes, oh, they just so happen to be female, or they just so happen to be insert X here, which is what you want to do. And that is why his characters, especially I'm seeing here for this Miss Vermillion here, appears to be a more rounded character, more believable, and more relatable to a general audience. Because we as people, we're not all about one thing. Some of us are, but most of us have multi parts of our personality in our life. Your job doesn't define you. Maybe being a dad doesn't define you. It's just part of who you are. In that case, we're seeing that here, and I look forward to reading this. I've already backed this series. In case you guys haven't seen that, it'll say right up here, I have backed it. If you, I look forward to reading this one, Chris. Is there anything else you would like to tell us about Braveheart Exile or things you've got going on in the comic world?
7 days to back Braveheart Exile. I'm not going to announce it here all the way, but we have a much bigger book. Me and Ash, it's coming out later this year, maybe beginning of next year. It's kind of iffy, kind of huge. Ash got picked up as a background artist for Monsters We Make, Corey Kenshin's manga, the really big YouTuber guy. So
wow.
yeah, that was like really big for us, for her, not us, her. But
well, it does help you as a creator a little bit, because what happens is when people get on. So here's another dark reality that no one's going to like to hear. When we hire variant cover artists, we don't hire them for the art. We hire them for their following.
Yeah.
Because people go, oh, like I'll use Lyrics, who now works with Marvel as an example. They go, oh, I don't know what your book is, but I love Lyrics, so I'm going to grab it because I want to collect Lyrics stuff. It does help you when an artist's career takes off, if they've worked with you or continue to work with you, because now their fans are going to come looking for more things they've done, and it will benefit you. Which is why you should always give new artists a chance.
Right. But like the bad thing is that she's a background artist for this manga that's being bought up by people who don't really like read manga. They just like Corey Kenshin. But your point still stands.
As
But
bad as it sounds, sales and sales, it helps you make more comics.
Oh yeah, no, we're trying to. We're actually asking him if we can like bounce off of him later on, and he actually gave us the okay.
Nice.
But that's like for something something in the future. But we are working on our very first romance series. We decided to look at what we are known best for together, and we were like, we need to do this ASAP, and so that is coming out. Like I said, ending of this year, beginning of next year. It's our most merchandise heavy, maybe like non-indie comic style, where like you won't see like variant covers and shit. We're trying
to indies.
Okay, well, yeah, but it's like
so maybe play that game too.
So maybe not. So maybe just Kickstarter. But like we're not, so we're trying to do less of that for this next book, and it's going to be like a much thicker book, and that's what I'm banking on in terms of what we're doing next. So after Braveheart, that's the next book, and I'll tell you about that as time goes on. I think you'll like that one the most. I think it's a lesbian Yuri book, romance book.
You heard it here, guys. His next book is going to be it's female characters, thick lesbians. There you go.
Only one's thick. Maybe you know what? Maybe I'll just say this.
I don't have the Aku meme loaded up into this thing, but I wish I did. So instead, I'm just going to have to go back to the default.
I had my head turned.
It has been an interesting trend. I think you're not too much younger than I am. Where when we were young, everybody wanted these 100-pound Playboy Bunny kind of looks, and now thick is popular. People are going for the thickness, which in turn for creators like us is fantastic because it allows us to actually create much more diversified characters and how they look without ostracizing some of our audience. So you've got Dream Match here. She's very fit, which she's a wrestler. She's going to be fit. She's going to be muscular. Good Blood Bunny. She is fairly lithe, but that also makes sense for an assassin, kind of like those out there, my fellow perverts who are familiar with Dead or Alive. Christy, who is very sexy and in a very, very small frame. Jazz, everybody here looks like they could definitely whoop my butt in a race pretty easily, which isn't saying much these days. So I'm looking forward to this, Chris. You got more stuff coming down the pipe. That's fantastic. If you guys have ever seen Trigun, Westworld, if you enjoyed a game like Fallout New Vegas, Chris right here is telling you, because he totally didn't steal this kind of idea graphic from any other creator on Kickstarter at all. He is telling you, if you guys like that, you'll definitely love Braveheart Exile. And I again can tell you guys that I have read Chris's previous works. I personally enjoyed them. In fact, just so you know, I'm not lying to you, they're right here, including the cat ball sticker, which I have. Oh, you're over there. I actually added one on from this campaign, Chris, because my partner wants one. So I'm getting another cat ball sticker from you.
This is great.
It's always fun. It's good to have the add-ons people can have fun with. It was a long time ago. Someone once told me, if you're in the indie world, unless your best chances are going to be silly or sexy, and those are your best chances to get anybody to notice you. Because unfortunately, a serious indie sell is, well, a tough sell in itself. And this does have serious vibes to it, but in such a way that it's very captivating. The panels alone just feel like they're kind of pulling me in, and I look forward to seeing more of this girl right here, especially from, where's that panel at? The way your artist drew her, oh my goodness, I'm so lost. Drew her, of course, now I can't find the thing I'm looking for. That just makes sense, right? Right here. Absolutely adorable, but, oh, Chris, I have one more question for you, actually. I have noticed that your character here is disfigured. She is missing an arm. What inspired you to make a disfigured character?
We're in the future, baby. You know, we're in the future. if you go down, like I try to like make a point that there's a world where there's like robotic autonomy. So there are patrons here that are, you know, have cyborg. You got one right there walking in with the bounty hunters down there.
Gives me the vibe of the first guy Gene fights in Outlaw Star. He's just a pure cyborg.
Oh, well, there you go. But I didn't want to just give her like she's a human. Like I wanted somebody who is participating in this like, you know, society. Unfortunately for her, she's not doing it just because she wanted to have a robotic cyborg arm. There's a reason for why she has it. She lost that arm due to the fault of her criminal father, which we would definitely get into that one ASAP, because it falls into play as to why she's at where she's at right now.
Definitely gives me a bit of a because with Vash's arm, a Vash against millions knives kind of vibe.
Yeah,
which I think is what you were going for. So if that's the case, man, you nailed it.
Everything is within a reason, a point.
There's nothing wrong with taking inspiration from the masters. You've just seen the old comic where it's artists today going, I wish I was as good as the old masters, and it shows the guys in the Renaissance, Da Vinci going, I wish I was as good as the old masters, and it shows a caveman going, I'm the best ever. Kind of what we're all trying to do is just be that caveman again.
Yeah.
Ignore society, return to cave. Well, Chris, where can we find you online at? If people want to follow you, check out what you do, get some hot takes, where can we get those at?
I'm actually starting to get more active on Instagram right now.
Yeah, I noticed. I get my stupid Instagram. You go, here's a new video from Christyle with a Genshin character dancing on a desk. What drugs does he have, and how do I get them? They appear to be pretty good.
That's such an old video. I love it.
Is that what's happening? Is it because what happens in social media is you follow somebody or somebody starts being a little more active, and you click like one time, and it just blitzes you with all their old stuff.
No. So I TikTok has became like a AI cesspool.
Yes,
I started to take all of my old funny videos off of my TikTok, so I've been adding them on my Instagram. The issue is that like people assume that I just made them like 2 minutes ago, and I'm like, no, these are like 3 years old. They're on here now. So yeah, you're getting all my old stuff where I was making TikToks in my classroom. But I am on Instagram at Christyle _Inc INC. I'm on Twitter, Christyle Inc as well. Those are the only two that I really use, but definitely follow me. I occasionally will talk about Lazarus, the anime series, which ends next week.
Is it not out yet?
No. It's out. But I mean, like the episodes are all done. Starting next week. Starting next Saturday.
Ooh.
The conclusion of the whole story. It's also on like Adult Swim too. But I'm on there. Um, I don't know what. I think those are the only two ones that I really use. I'm trying to like forego my TikTok and stuff, but Instagram and Twitter.
Check you out on there, guys. Anybody out there have any questions like to ask Chris or myself? Anything you guys want to know about jazz? Maybe something about Good Blood Money, Dream Match Revolution, or the new series Braveheart Exile?
If you ask me about Dream Match, I'll tell you I've had wrestlers actually like they had the book. We have real pro wrestlers with the book sent to them.
So I haven't watched wrestling in a long time, so I can only mention the older wrestlers at this point. I'm just imagining just this Big Show reaches under the mat, instead of pulling out a chair, he pulls out a copy of Dream Match Revolution and beats his opponent with it.
So let me tell you a very, very short story. I went to the Royal Rumble that was here in my town.
Did you compete?
No, but I had very good seats. And the couple hours prior, we went to what is called WrestleCon, and that's where I met all of those wrestlers at. In which I was like, "Hey, would you like like a book? Like you can have Dream Match." And they all looked at it and was like, "Hell yeah!" So if I gave out all my copies and I took all my photos and everything. I forgot to bring one with me to Royal Rumble. There was a moment, 2 times, when Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes wrestled. They ended up wrestling around my section. I was like on the floor. They ended up wrestling around my section. And there was a point where like the camera was like facing towards where I was sitting. And I was like, shit, if I had a book, I would have picked that bitch up right then and there and threw it into the camera. But I didn't have a book. And then after the show where Jey Uso won the whole thing, and John Cena had already walked away. Jey Uso was doing his yeet in our like at our section, and then he like kind of like came over the barricade, like everything was already over, and he came over the barricade, and we all dapped him up, shook him up, gave high fives and hugs or whatever. And I'm sitting there like, why do I not have a fucking book? I should have came in here with one, because Jey Uso was right in front of me, grabbing shit. He was signing shit. People was giving him things, and I was like, damn it. Why did I had like 4 books on me earlier that day, and I did not bring another one with me. So I could have gave who essentially was our Raw champion, Dreamheart, but missed out.
Fun fact for you: I forget what the organization is. Another one of the wrestling organizations that Chris Jericho started. That's based here in Jacksonville.
Oh,
we get that now. And I did a con in Savannah one time where Rikishi was there. First off, that man is enormous. His fingers are about the size of my entire hand. That man is enormous.
No, he was at WrestleCon. I couldn't get a picture of him because he had a long ass line.
Yeah, he was the same in Savannah. He had a huge line. I never get a chance. I was like, man, I want to meet Rikishi. That guy, like Rikishi, single-handedly changed every wrestling game ever, because what it ultimately would devolve into is somebody picking Rikishi and everybody trying to not get hit by his ultimate. Like, no, just get wrung out before that happens. Don't get hit by it. If you remember what his ultimate move was.
Oh, the good old fashioned stink face.
Yep, and nobody ever wants that. You don't want that to happen to you. Maybe you do. I don't know what you're into. I don't judge. It's not my job. You do you. But guys, that will probably conclude it for tonight. We don't do this very long, about roughly an hour. Check out Braveheart Exile, a cyberpunk western over on Kickstarter. Remember to support indie comics. Give people who are new a chance. We are all tired right now with Hollywood because they just keep pumping out the same schlock over and over again. They are showing you that they think the only thing you're good for is your nostalgia. Fight them. Don't let them win that fight. Show them that you care more than just, oh, my childhood's been repackaged to me. Go back and go pick up some independent stuff. You're going to find it's better, and you're also going to find new things that are way more entertaining than just, oh, look, another Marvel movie. I wonder what happens this time. Oh, there's some good CGI, and Disney's there. Cool. Hey, Jason, nice to see you. Mr. Dube is another fellow comic creator. He does some really good stuff over on Kickstarter. We actually work with a similar artist. One of the artists he has in his stable, Miss Zumi Neko, who is fantastic. You will see some of her work coming up very soon with our studio. And Jason recently did some fan art, actually, of one of the characters from our upcoming series. But this is not about me today. We'll talk about that later. Chris, it's always nice to have you here. It's always good to hear from you. We keep in constant contact. I have a surprise for you coming very, very soon that you're going to be blown away by. Actually, I may even stream it just so I can get on. I may even force to stream it so I can get your reaction in real time, just recorded.
I need to see whatever this is.
Nope. You put it this way, it's. I'll tell you I'll tell you later. You're gonna have a good time. Always, Jason, we believe in supporting independent comics. So for those out there who are new to maybe into creation in general, especially when it comes to indie comics, this is how I usually define us. We are all on the same team. It doesn't matter if it's Christyle Inc., Mr. Doob, or Astral Ticket Comics. We're all on the same team. We play for the same team. But there is one very important distinction. We are all wide receivers on the same football team, and we all want more yards. So while we are competing, we're still on the same team. At the end of the day, a win for one is a win for all. But I still want more yards than the next guy, and so do you. That's okay. With what should be happening is that other creators become the stone on which we can sharpen our own blades on. They make us better. And with this is true, Chris.
Oh yeah. Damn cat.
I don't know who made that, but I wish to give them a hug. I love that thing. So, guys, thank you for coming by. We will see you all probably. I'll probably be doing more of these for a little while as we build up to the Manticore coming next month for sure on Kickstarter. In fact, we are ahead of schedule, and it may come sooner than you expect. So, guys, have a great night. We will see you all in the very near future. Dig Chris's work. Let's create together. There you go, Chris. You can say other people like your work, man. You've
Awesome.
already become an inspiration to other people. Keep it up. It's the goal of every teacher, right?
No, I can't sell that.
I can't sell that. No, that attitude. So guys, thank you. And we will be out. I'll hit you with the outro. Have a good night. I'll see you guys soon.
We won't be intimidated by criminal threats.
What you got? I'm gonna knock you all on your asses! Never run from a real fight. If you don't stop, you'll get us sued.
Welcome to the future.